Do you have any complaints to Hashem? And I tell them, what are you talking about? I should complain for being married to such a special woman for 11 and a half years? Some people don't even have any split of getting married at all. And here I am getting married not only to somebody, a Jewish woman, but Baruch Hashem, a very special Jewish woman. And I say, I wake up every morning, even now, and I have my eyes, I have my ears, my legs, my hands, my teeth, and I have 3 beautiful children, Baruch Hashem. How can I complain? And some people just don't get it. They feel like we should be angry at Hashem, that He does terrible things to good people. I mean, she was a very good person. She was a therapist. She even taught therapists all around the world and psychologists. There was one psychologist in Florida that was in one of her international classes that she was teaching how to take care of people in a very special way with people that have anxiety and depression and childhood traumas and all these different things. And at the end of the course, she asked, what do you guys think? How was it? Did you guys learn anything from it? So this guy, he's a psychologist in Florida for 30 years, and he says, you know something? I'm in this business for so long, and I've never learned so much from somebody like you. And it was very special. I remember the first year that we were married, I asked her, what is your biggest passion? What is your biggest goal in life? Because I wanted to push her forward, and of course, that's what husband and wife do. They try to help each other to be the best they can. At least that's what they should be doing. And she told me, I want to be like a big professor and give lectures in big universities. And I said, well, you don't have to do it the traditional way. You could also do it in other ways that are unconventional, And today you have webinars and you have different things you can do. And that was a special moment for her to see, wow, you really believe I can do it? And I was like, of course. And every time she wanted to do another course to learn more things, and it's not just the first degree, second degree, and the third degree, and all these things that she did, but I always told her, do that course. And she's like, it's a lot of money. And I said, it doesn't matter. You're helping people. You're saving their lives. You're literally helping people get out of depression, get out of anxiety attacks, people that are suicidal, all these different things, crazy situations that people were going through. And she was able to help so many people. So I said, it doesn't matter how much it costs. It's nothing compared to what you're going to do. So Baruch Hashem, I kept pushing her to grow. So I don't get any credit, of course. It's all her. She's amazing. I was just there to support her. So Baruch Hashem. And I actually grew up in New York, in Brooklyn. And all the girls that I dated, thank you. I lived also in Venezuela, Argentina, Texas, Michigan. We got to move around a lot because my father's a rabbi of communities, and he's a shochet, moel, so for stam. He marries people off, he divorces them, whatever you need. Very good. It's all, jack of all trades. So Baruch Hashem. So what happened was that when I was in New York, I was dating all these girls, and I always came up with this question, what do you think about moving to Israel? It's such a special thing. And they say, why is it so important for you? It's a nice thing to do, but why is it so special? And I said, what do you mean? Moshe Rabbeinu, he was Vayetchanan, he's praying again and again, please Hashem, I'm doing all these crazy things to help the Jewish people to go all the way in. Please, let me go in. And she was like, I'm sorry, it's not in the cards. It's not in the cards. You're not going in. And he prayed 515 times. And Hashem told him, one more time you pray. I got to go back to the beginning of the creation of the world, and I got to start everything over. And we got to recalculate the whole thing. This is crazy. You can't do it. So he realized he can't. And there's a medrash. She said, please let me go like a bird. Let me go like a fish. All these different things. And it's not in the cards. So I tell the girl, on the date every time in New York, we have such a special opportunity to live in the Holy Land, the Promised Land. Milk and honey, it's all the good stuff. Let's do it. And always got the same response, which is very disappointing. They always say, of course, when Mashiach comes. And I was like, all right, you keep living your dreaming and dreaming, I'll go live the dream. And so Baruch Hashem, when I was 25, I basically just jumped on a plane, and I didn't know what's going to happen. But I said, you know what? If I'm not going to find a girl in New York to come with me, I'll go find her in Israel already. So Baruch Hashem, took about a year and a half in Israel, and then I found Tzeela. And it was very interesting because I just like landed in Israel the first time, right, when I made Aliyah, and I went to a family friend, Michal. She was, they were a nice couple that were friends of my parents in Israel, and she wanted me to come over for Shabbat. So I ate by them, and she said, you know what, I started doing shidduchim. I want to get my foot in the door, like, get started. And she's a very special woman. She said she wants to hook me up and to find me a wife. So I said, all right, we talked a little bit, 20, 30 minutes. And she said, all right, you're a good guy. I'll find you a good girl. But then a whole year and a half that I was in Israel, I don't hear back from her. I'm like, what's going on, And I'm dating all these different girls, and nothing's happening. But then my little sister, she got married in New York, because I made Aliyah on my own. My parents were still there, my siblings. So I go to New York, and they set me up with a girl in New York, which doesn't want to make Aliyah. And I'm like, what's going on here? I mean, the whole point is that I want to live in Israel, and now they're setting me up with somebody here. I didn't know what to do. It was very confusing. And then at the Shabbat brachos of my little sister, I have an older sister also that was there with her husband. So my brother-in-law, he says at Dvar Torah, and he says, the Meraglim, it was mamish right now, like the Meraglim. And he says the Meraglim, there were 12 of them. And the vast majority, they said we cannot go back, we cannot go into Israel. They were very anti. And he started screaming in the table, like, at all these people, all these New Yorkers. And he's like, you have to stop listening to your rabbis, and you gotta make Aliyah. And I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, he's definitely not talking to them, because they're just gonna hear it from one ear, it goes out the other. Like, and I can't blame them. That's how they grew up. Like, okay, Israel is a place where you go visit once in a while, but it's like for other people. And I'm like, he's talking to me. He's talking to me. He's telling me, yo, don't mess around. You gotta go back. So Baruch Hashem, I go back on a plane, but I was so heartbroken already so many times. Dating. Your heart is like broken already so many times. So I'm on the plane on the way back to Israel, and I start talking to Hashem. I'm like, I'm in Shemayim now, I'm like high up there. I'm talking to Hashem, like, Hashem, you're right with me here. And I tell him, I don't know what to do. I think it's like too much for my heart. Dating another girl, and nobody wants to do this. It's hard. So I said, Hashem, maybe I need a break for like a year. Just gotta take a break. It's too much for me. So, okay. That's what I said. I land in Israel, turn on my phone. Michal calls me, hey, I got a girl for you. Last night I met her. And from her side of the story, she said that she went to this shiur for singles, boys and girls, singles in Kiryat Moshe. And she says, we went to this shiur, and then afterwards they have like all these tables with shadchanim. And then I told my friend, this is a big mess, this is a big joke. It's not for me, And she tells her friend, oh, we're getting out of here, we're not staying. And her friend said, just go to one, like do your shtabas. So she looks around, she sees, oh, there's a lady over there, Michal. She looks a little normal, okay, we'll try. She doesn't look like she bites, So Baruch Hashem, she goes and she speaks to her, and they hit it off. They talk for like 20 minutes. She's like, listen, you got a good guy here. Baruch Hashem. I'm not going to say too much about myself, but Baruch Hashem, nice guy. And she said, look, he was really good for you. So when I landed and she told me last night I found her, she said, look, you're going to date her now, okay? Like in 2 hours, 3 hours, you have a date. I was like, wow, Hashem, we plan and God laughs, right? Like, it's like, okay, whatever you spoke about with God, it's all over. Like, I guess he saw that I was serious. He's like, hey, I'm serious too, Don't mess around. So, Baruch Hashem, I was like, okay, listen, I'm jet lagged. I just had a whole flight, and just like the previous speaker, you go to sleep. What are you going to do, And so I go to sleep. I'm like, okay, I got like 2 hours, 3 hours until the date. So I wake up 6 hours later. I missed my blind date. And I open my phone. I see like 20 missed calls. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I just messed up my whole thing. The shadchan called, even the girl called. I'm like, oh my gosh, I messed up. I called. She's like, yo, call her now. What are you doing? You gotta save this. What's going on? So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I call her, and I'm all like scared. Like she's probably gonna like be so mad at me. And I tell her, I'm so sorry, Tzeela. Is it okay if we still go out today? I mean, I know it's like we're supposed to be at like 12 or 1, whatever, but maybe we can meet now that it's like, 6 in the evening. Is it okay? And I'm like waiting to hear back from her, like, oh, what's she gonna say? And the first thing that I hear from this woman ever in my life, first time, she says, wow, Baruch Hashem, you're okay. I was worried, what happened to you? I was like, oh my gosh, she has such a good eye. Like, she sees the positive, and she doesn't judge you. She's just like, wow. I was like, oh my gosh, I got a date. I don't care what. She's like, listen, I didn't know. You didn't pick up. I didn't know what's the deal. Maybe the guy's like a cuckoo. I don't know. Okay, so I decided I'm going to go to like a dance class nearby because she was in the center and we're supposed to be in Ben Yehuda. So she said, okay, so listen, I'm not like dressed all like pretty and everything. I'm like, wearing sports stuff because I went to a dance class. But, if you're cool with it, we can meet. So I was like, yeah, whatever you say. Let's go. So I go and I go to Ben Yehuda and I go up to King George and there she waits for me. I see this angel. She looked so nice. She looked like she had this like halo around her, like a big like. It was amazing. I don't know. It's like special. And then like on the third date already, I saw that she has such a deep like love for Hashem, and she has a deep love for like understanding people and to help them. And she told me, like, let's talk about, like, what is it really about when you get married and you want to build a family? People think it's all, like, lovey-dovey, but it's going to be hard work. You understand that? And I said, yeah, a husband and wife, it's opposites, Ezer Kenegdo. Kenegdo is, like, really strong. Like, especially these days, It's not uncommon to see that people get divorced. It's a very common thing, unfortunately, but it's the most natural thing because, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's like they're a whole different world, The ladies, they want to talk to you in circles about everything, and you don't know where it's going, but it's a nice big mess, It's very emotional and roller coaster. And the guy's like, let's just fix the problem. Let's just tell me what to do. I'll fix it. No, I don't want you to fix it. I want you to listen. I want you to just be there with me. And it's like, wow. So Baruch Hashem, I have a degree in psychology that I did in New York, in Lander College in Queens. And so she said, oh, that's good. That way you can understand me, and then I can take care of all the people that I take care of, in therapy and everything. So Baruch Hashem, even now, unfortunately, that she's gone, now I realize that I have this ability to help people with my degree in psychology and trying to be with people, because now I can help my children. They're not in an easy situation, unfortunately, and I can help myself, hopefully. And then I can also help my in-laws once in a while because they have a different view on life, They took it to the worst place possible. So I say, like, okay, you know what? In life, you don't choose the tragedy, but you still choose how to deal with the tragedy, right? There's the guy, Viktor Frankl. He wrote the book, Man's Search for Meaning. He went through the Holocaust. He saw people that were pessimistic, they died. People that were optimistic, they lived. And he even said something very, very powerful. He said, there's stimulus and there's response. Something happens to you, and there's how you respond to it. If you just react, it's like a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, it's the most natural thing. That's the most humane thing, to be broken completely. They murdered my wife. They murdered my baby. It's the hardest thing in the world to, like, accept. How can you move on from that? I should be in a mental institution, or I should be, like, depressed in my bed for the next 20, 30 years. And that's going to be fine. But you can still choose how to respond, because you have like space between what happens and how you choose to react to it or respond is a better word. So what happened was that I decided that if this happens to me, maybe it means that I need to do something positive with it. Maybe Hashem put me in this situation because He believes that I can do something good with it. And I decided that it's like Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef HaTzadik, he was thrown into a pit, not only by